Today let us take up Consumer Protection Act 1986 and then subsequently amended during 2019, and it has come to effect from 6/8/2000 onwards. And the Consumer Protection Act has been enacted. It is a parliamentary act, and then it has got the president assent, and then it has been come into force from 6/8/2019 onwards. So first the preamble of the act. Preamble means the introductory part of the act. That is, what is the objective of the Consumer Protection Act? Why it has been enacted? To protect the consumers and also to to avoid the deficiency in services. These things are stated in the objective of the act or preamble of the act. And then in section 2 it has been stated who is the consumer. The consumer is the one who consumes the goods, or through somebody he consumes the good. That means he can appoint a servant also for his own use, and he is also called consumer. That is, but the main thing is the purchased good should be consumed by him. So that should be used by him. It should not be sold to others. Then he is called as a broker or a commission agent or a dealer, like that. Here it is called consumer. And then the second thing, it is told about complainant. Complainant is the one who complains about the product or the services. The complainant here may be an individual or the state government, central government or union territories. And then the third thing is dispute. Dispute means anything which is brought to the notice of the consumer court as the defect in service or the defect in goods or deficiency in service or deficiency in goods. Those things are called dispute. And then what is the defect? Defect, anything when we purchase a good, it should be free from defect. And if it is anything having the manufacturing defect, and then it is known as the defect, and that is called the defect. And deficiency also defect, but something is added to the deficiency, the defect, that is called deficiency. And next thing is called manufacturer. Who is the manufacturer? The person who produces the goods is called manufacturer. And then the person who has they purchased the goods is called person. And service, the next thing is explained in service. What is service? Goods and service. Goods is tangible and service is intangible. Goods is we can touch and see. Service we cannot touch and see. That's called intangible. And in goods, the service provider and the service receiver, the goods purchaser and the goods the receiver, the person who sells the goods and receives the goods need not be in the same place. But in service it is not so. Both the service provider and the service receiver should be in a place that is called service. And the service, in service there are the things such as banking, financing, insurance, and transport, processing, and supply of that is electronical goods, energy board, lodging, and then entertainment, amusement, and purveying of these things are coming under the purview of the service. Service means we cannot see the things by our observation, by our visualization. That is called the service. That is, we also get the benefit out of it as a consumer, but the thing is it is intangible. That is called service. And the trader is the one who sells the goods, is called trader. And then the next thing is unfair practices. The main thing in the Consumer Protection Act, This has to prevent the unfair trade practices. That means by cheating or by manipulating the things, or these goods are to be purchased. Suppose if some imposition is given that these things only should be purchased like that, if those things are available, then it is called unfair trade practices. The trade practices, normal trade practices is very good, but unfair means there may be some force in it, there may be some undue influence will be there, there may be some unethical practices will be there in the trade practices, that is called unfair trade practices. To curb all the things, the Consumer Protection Act has been come up, and that prevents the unfair trade practices. Next, we have to see the key features of the present Amendment Act, Consumer Protection Act 2019 Amendment Act. In this, the speciality of this Amendment Act is this the establishment of Central Consumer Protection Authority, that is CCPA. That is one of the important aspect which has been introduced in the new Amendment Act. And then this protect and promote and enforce the right of consumers. So the important thing of CCPA, that is Central Consumer Protection Authority, that protect, promote and enforce the rights of the consumers. Then an investigation wing has also been formulated that that is to enquire violations. These are all the things included in the present Amendment Act, and the CCPA is headed by the Director General, a head or nodal agency called Director General. And the second thing, important thing, the right of consumers. 6 rights have been enumerated. These 6 rights have been told. Those things are their right to safety, right to information, right to choose, right to consumer education, right to right to be tell about the defects, and right to redressal. These 6 rights have been enumerated in the present Amendment Act. So these 6 rights are very, very important rights of the consumers. One again, apart from that, the right to choose the quality and quantity, the potency, price, standard of goods and services are also are suggested in the rights of the consumer. So to recapitulate, right to safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to be record, right to be consumer education, right to redressal. These are all the 6 rights have been enumerated in the new Amendment Act. And apart from that, suppose if the complaint has been made by the consumer to the authority, to the person who have sold it, suppose if it is rejected, the complaint is rejected, he has to say the reasons within 21 days. Otherwise, it will be construed that he will not be having any reason to say, and it will be construed that he has to pay the claimed amount, the compensation or something like that by the purchaser. These are all the right to consumers. The 6 rights have been enumerated. And then the penalty for misleading advertisement have also been included in the Amendment Act. That is the penalty 2 years imprisonment for repeated offences, and 5 years 2 years imprisonment for misleading advertisement. If it is repeated offences, that is the misleading advertisement, if it is repeated again and again repeated, and it is coming at the repeated offences, for that 5 years imprisonment with 50 lakhs fine. That also has been enumerated in the recent act. And then the other thing, district redressal commission. So there are three tier district redressal, the 3 tier redressal commissions have been started, and one is called district redressal commission, second is called state redressal commission, and third thing is called national commission. Usually this district redressal commission is considered to be forum, and these things are commission. So now the pecuniary jurisdiction or the amount, the claim of amount has also been increased. That is up to 1 crore the district commission can take up the cases. Suppose if a person purchases a goods worth of below 1 crore rupees, that can be taken up by the district redressal commission. And from more than 1 crore to 10 crore, it will be taken by the state commission, and more than 10 crore will be taken up by the national commission. The district and state commission will be headed by the bench, 3-member bench, and usually the national bench will be consist of 5 members. And jurisdiction have also been told in this, that is called territorial jurisdiction. The territorial jurisdiction is, suppose if a person purchases a goods, the case can be if at all, if any consumer that is complaint is there, then he can go with the complaint in the place where he has purchased the goods. It is not the place where the goods manufactured. It is the place where the goods purchased. In that place, the complaint can be taken up. That is called territorial jurisdiction. And pecuniary jurisdiction, already we are told, pecuniary means amount. The amount which we are told already, district up to 1 crore, and then state commission 1 to that is 5 crore for 10 crore, and more than 10 crore national commission. Then refund of amount. Suppose if the consumer court says that the amount should be paid due to the deficiency in service or deficiency in the goods, the goods have been manufactured defects, and it has to be either it should be replaced. If at all replaced and the consumer is satisfied, then it is okay. If he has not taken up the case, then he has to pay the amount within 30 days from the date of the award of the consumer court. It should be within 30 days, it should be implemented. Then, and if it is not, sometimes the award is made, and if it is not materialized, then they can take up the he can be arrested and other thing, but it will not help the consumer, so that he can take up this case as a civil case, and he can go to the civil court, and in civil court the property can be attached. So the person who lodged a complaint or the complainant can get the benefit out of civil case. So that is an important aspect. And then sometimes the ADR also can be taken up. ADR also can solve the consumer alternate dispute redressal. That means through mediation or conciliation, like that. Here the ADR, alternate dispute resolution, is there. Through written consent from both parties, that ADR can be taken up. That is, the ADR, alternate dispute resolution, can be taken up, and through alternate dispute resolution, the case can be finalized. Because to avoid the time delay and to avoid the expenditure, this ADR is usually in practice provided if both parties accept that, and both parties have given written consent about forming the ADR. And that is another thing. And then the mediation cell, state government establishes mediation cell in each and every district. So to avoid time delay and other thing, mediation have been arranged in each and every district. and filing complaint before district forum electronically. Now another thing also have come up. So the complaint need not be indirect, it should also be electronically can be taken up. That is the filing of complaint before district forum electronically. And then the amount also has been stated for to meet out the some expenditures, petty expenditures like paperwork and other thing. Now the small amount has also been fixed for filing the complaint. For that, the DD has to be attached with the complaint, along with the complaint, along with the receipt. There are other documents for the purchase of goods. These things have to be enclosed or appended for filing a complaint. So these things are necessary. And in deficiency of service, usually we used to lodge complaint as a consumer. Medical service has also been included in under the this consumer protection. If it is the negligence, in the case of negligence, as a consumer we can claim the complaint. But the thing is, usually the lawyer need not be necessary for presenting the case to the consumer, that is court. But some legality, some technicalities are involved in medical cases, medical negligence. For that, if the consumer appoints a lawyer to put up the case and to pinpoint the negligence, the technical points, then the consumer can get the redressal in time. For that, he can appoint, if at all, if he wills, he can appoint. Otherwise, the appointment of a lawyer need not be necessary. Suppose if the consumer knows that it need not have, it is not having any technicalities or any structural difficulties, then he can he himself can argue the case and can get rid of the complaint. So these are the things told in Consumer Protection Act. So in Consumer Protection Act, as a consumer, நுகர்வோர் என்ற முறையில் அவர் the deficiency in goods, ஒரு அந்த பொருளில் ஒரு குறைபாடு இருந்தாலோ அல்லது அந்த சர்வீஸ், ஒரு சர்வீஸ் என்று சொல்கின்றோம், அந்த நமக்கு கிடைக்கக்கூடிய சர்வீஸ், இப்போ பேங்கிங்கில் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட நேரத்தில் நமக்கு சர்வீஸ் கிடைக்காதால் இவ்வளோ நமக்கு நஷ்டம் ஏற்படுது என்று வாதிட்டாலோ, இதற்கெல்லாம் நஷ்ட ஈடு தர வேண்டும், அதனை சரி செய்ய வேண்டும். அதற்காக இந்த கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் ஆக்ட் வந்துள்ளது. எனவே இதனை பயன்படுத்தி நாம் சுலபமாக, இட் இஸ் நாட் லைக் நார்மல் கோர்ட் மாதிரி இல்லாமல் நாம் உடனடியாக நிவாரணம் பெறுகின்றோம். ஸோ these are the things in Consumer Protection Act. With this, we end this the topic Consumer Protection Act, Amended Act, which came into force from 6/8/2019. With this, we conclude the video.